I've been short all my life, but I haven't always felt that way. When I was a really little kid, I didn't have any idea of what being short was, so I didn't have any feelings about it. Um, I didn't have any idea what it was. As I got a little bit older, though, as shortness sort of entered my awareness, I actually saw it as an advantage. You know, I could do things other people couldn't. Life was good. I could just, go in between people's legs and do crazy stuff. So in a way, I sort of felt a sense of superiority about being short. But then as I got older, a different sort of view of my shortness came and took place, and I guess it was the opposite. It was a sense of inferiority. And perhaps this is because of a lot of reasons, some of them being the ideas that being taller means you're stronger or more athletic, or that the people that I wanted to be attracted to me wouldn't be because I was short. And, at a certain stage, I came to a stage of acceptance. I sort of just thought, this is my height, I can't control it. Why be miserable about it? And a couple years ago, though, that shifted into something new. And this came about because I was starting to look into broadening my perspective, looking at history and indigenous cultures around the world that still exist today. And my view about my body, about everyone's body, and our just states of being completely flipped. And sort of this switch happened because what I saw in the world was beauty. I saw beautiful people existing within their ecosystems with all different skin tones and sizes and shapes and noses. But they're all living as healthy, functioning humans, living off of the land, living in ways that all of our ancestors at one point used to live. I looked at Filipino history, and the Spanish conquerors had long weapons. They had muskets and javelins. And that was really great on the European battlefield. But when it came to the dense, lush foliage and brush of the jungle, the indigenous Filipinos had the upper hand with their shorter limbs, so to say, and shorter weapons and tactics centered around that ecosystem. They were able to have the upper hand in the jungle. And it's ridiculous that, on a basic level of understanding, we just have forgotten that we come from different environments. It's ridiculous that I thought of my shortness as inherently inferior just because, these ideas that we think are what we need to strive for in the media, all of these celebrities and whatever, that they are the ideal. When in reality, they're way less healthy than all of these people around the world who have a ton of variation and different features. And all of the adaptations and the features and traits that you have, your nose, your hair, your eyes, your everything about you, your ancestors over generations and generations developed to suit their environment. And it's funny how focused we are on all of these traits and supposed ideals in our modern times, when we don't even have to deal with the environments our ancestors had to deal with. Everything about our environments are manufactured, sanitized and controlled. But we're focused so much on it. And we have multi-billion-dollar industries that are built on your feelings of inadequacy. Think about all of the thousands of dollars that people spend on plastic surgery, on cosmetics, on makeup, on pedicures, and diet plans, diet pills, gym memberships. The list goes on. And it's not even just with the body, but feelings of inadequacy with our mental state. I would go to TikTok or YouTube to cope with mental lulls, I suppose, to fucking numb out my life. Or you don't feel spiritual enough, here's some crystals. There are all of these industries that are built on feeling inadequate, feeling not enough. All of these industries and the problems that are being expressed through social media are all cages of our egos and our perceived selves, because the function of the ego is essentially to add layers of our idea of self. And the way that we do that is by looking at other people, other groups, and judging themselves and ourselves at the same time, saying, if do I look better or worse than that person? Do I agree with this person or not? And these ideas just add layers onto ourselves. A lot of times this comes in the form of us viewing people that are supposed to be better than us, and on a subconscious level feeling shitty about yourself. And even though that you might think that you don't like to feel shitty, through what I researched about my porn addiction, the dopamine process in your brain activates when you feel shitty about yourself. So there is a deep motivation to sort of judge yourself, and a deep motivation to live within the realm of inadequacy, of like ideals that are just supplanted by these industries. And looking at TikTok and Instagram and social media, people in the comment sections and the challenges that we create are living within this realm of judgment and this feeling of shittiness about themselves. Like I've seen on TikTok, these trends where you're showing if your face is like symmetrical or not, or if you have like an hourglass shape, or if there's like a ratio between your lips and your nose or your forehead, or all of these little things that somebody just decided is what we should strive for. And something that you have to understand is something that I just understand as a content creator. Everything you see out there on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, it's all a performance. We are all just actors that are playing our roles for the camera, for these films, so that we can make some money. And the way that we make money on social media is by essentially showing the right camera angles on our bodies, on our lives, on our personalities, so that we can get sponsors, so that we can sort of tap into the consumer's mental processes and dopamine systems, so that they can keep fucking liking Instagram pictures and feeling shitty about themselves in a way. And even if this isn't a lot of people's intentions, this is something that is on a deep level just how social media works. I see my friends post pictures of them looking all cool, looking all fine and shit. In real life, I know they're a bunch of dorks. This isn't real. As real as I think I am in front of the camera, in front of you, I know that I'm different a little bit in real life, I'm sure. If you met me in real life, I would be not the same. And we essentially have to separate the role from the actor, but unfortunately, with the way that we see the world as humans, we can't really do that. Like when I see Chris Hemsworth, I see Thor. And it's sort of because when you watch a movie, as much as you tell yourself that this is fake, as much as you tell yourself in the movie that these are just photons coming out of a piece of glass, you still feel those emotions. Physiologically and psychologically, your body is reacting to it, because it doesn't matter if it's real or not. Stimulus is stimulus. Information is information. And so you have to sort of see the psychological and cultural ecosystem and an environment that we are building in our minds. This is the ecosystem that we are adapting to. We are no longer adapting to an ecosystem that is designed for, our nature, for health, but designed for ways to get money off of us, designed for you to feel shitty about yourself. And I've sort of been hyper aware of this for some time, because my parents used to be makeup artists. So, I was able to look out at the world, at the billboards, and see that all of this shit is fake. Like, All of these people's bone structures are different. The shadows on their face is different. We are basically creating, as a society, a culture, and on an individual basis, creating these holes in our sense of self that we try to fill with these products, and by scrolling through these posts instead of just deleting the fucking app. We keep doing it, and it never gets fulfilled. These holes just keep getting deeper and deeper. And so for me, I had to just stop. I don't scroll on TikTok anymore, and I catch myself using YouTube like TikTok sometimes, but these holes that we've created aren't designed to be filled. It's designed for an industry to keep running. And the things that really are fulfilling, the things that are truly beautiful, come when you realize that you aren't just your physical body, your mental state, your spiritual state. You are what's underlying all of those things. You sort of have a sense of detachment from those things, but also appreciation. Appreciation that they are important pieces of our being, and that essentially we can appreciate them without judgment. Like when you meditate, you are going back to a baseline state of being. You don't stop thinking, but you do stop judging your thoughts. And you stop being completely taken by your thoughts. And it's the same way with our body and with our spirit. We can sort of separate and appreciate the beauty of their being. And beauty is a mirror. The way we see the world, like what is beautiful in the world, is basically what we see in ourselves as beautiful. Same thing as what is ugly. We're in a weird situation right now where what we see in the world as beauty, as ideal, is actually what is unhealthy, and in that way naturally ugly. What we see as beauty is products, surgeries, makeup. It's an unhealthy lifestyle, industries that are dependent on you feeling inadequate. To close this off, ironically, I'll close it off with a TikTok I saw a couple years ago. This guy sort of does the same thing I do. He talks about stuff. And he was talking about how when you go out into the forest, there are a bunch of trees, and you walk amongst the trees, and they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, heights and widths. But you don't judge them for that. You appreciate them as trees. And on a deep level, you know that that's the way it should be, and you accept it. But when it comes to ourselves, when it comes to other humans, we do the complete opposite. We judge ourselves and each other, and we fight against the nature of our biodiversity, and think that we're supposed to fit within these cookie cutter ideals. When you see the beauty of the tree as a tree, of these elements of our being as they are, not with judgment but with reality. Because of the nature of beauty as a mirror, when you see the beauty in all of that, you radiate beauty. And in that way, I already see you as beautiful. However you are in your state of life, but that doesn't make you beautiful. In the same way that a tree is just as beautiful in the winter time as it is in full bloom in spring, just in its own way. So just remember that your nose, your height, your hair, everything is the path of nature. It's biodiversity. It's the way that your ancestors have survived. And when you can just appreciate that for what it is, you can look at it without judgment and see the true beauty of your being. That's it.